The sky was burning. Massive alien ships hovered over Earth's major cities. People ran in fear. Buildings exploded. The once beautiful blue sky had turned red with fire and smoke. It was not a war. It was a punishment. The aliens had arrived. They called themselves the Virati, a powerful race from another galaxy. For years they watched humans. They saw the wars, the pollution, the violence. They said humans were too dangerous, too wild, and too emotional. So the Virati made a decision. They would not destroy humans, but they would remove them. They gave the leaders of Earth one final message. You are a failed species. You will be removed from the galaxy before you destroy more than just yourselves. In the year 2093, the Virati selected 10,000 humans from around the world. Scientists, soldiers, engineers, farmers, men, women, even children. They were not chosen for their crimes. They were chosen for one reason, to be banished. Their destination was a planet called Thanor 7, known across galaxies as a death world. Poisonous air, dangerous creatures, and burning sunlight. No intelligent life had ever survived there for long. The Virati believed the humans would die in weeks. Maybe days. Chapter 1. The departure commander Rayan Malik stood in line with the others. His hands were tied. His military uniform was dirty. Blood on his cheek, dust in his hair. He looked up at the alien ship. It was huge, like a floating city. Cold metal, glowing blue lights, and strange writing across its sides. A Virati soldier with glowing armor pushed him forward. Move, human. Rayan didn't reply. His jaw was tight, his eyes sharp. Behind him, people cried. Children screamed. Some begged the Virati to let them stay, but the aliens didn't listen. Their decision was final. The humans were pushed into long metal chambers like coffins, cryosleep chambers. They would sleep for the long journey. When they woke up, they would be on man or -7. As the chamber door closed over Rayan, he whispered to himself, "You want us to die? Fine, but if we survive, we come back stronger." Darkness took him. Chapter 2. Arrival on Thanor 7. When the humans woke up, everything had changed. Rayan opened his eyes inside the metal chamber. His body felt heavy. He sat up and looked around. The sky above was orange and cracked. The air was thick with smoke. They had landed, but many chambers around him were open and empty. Others were broken. Some had blood. "Commander Rayan." A voice called. He turned. A young engineer, Lena, ran to him. She looked scared, her face pale. "We've lost hundreds. Some chambers failed. They didn't survive the trip." Rayan nodded, trying to stay calm. "How many are left?" "About 7,000, Lena replied. He looked at the planet around them. Dry, cracked land, no trees, black mountains in the distance. The air was not safe to breathe. They wore masks. Strange animal sounds echoed from far away. A group of soldiers gathered around Rayan. "We need shelter," one said. "We need food," said another. Rayan took a deep breath. "First, we survive. Then we rebuild, and one day we return." Chapter 3. The first night. That night, the screams began. Something attacked the humans. A large, four-legged creature, glowing eyes, long claws, and sharp teeth. It was fast, silent, and deadly. It killed 5 people before the soldiers shot it down. Its blood was green and acidic. It burned through the ground. "Thanor 7 is alive," Rayan said, "and it hates us." The group worked together quickly. They used broken parts of the ship to build walls. Engineers made air filters. Soldiers stood guard in shifts. Rayan stayed awake all night. He watched the stars above, knowing somewhere out there, the Virati were watching too. "You think you ended us," he whispered. "But this is only the beginning." Chapter 4. 1 year later. Life on Thanor 7 was hard. Every day was a fight. To survive, The toxic air forced them to live underground. They dug deep tunnels and built a small base called Hollow One. They grew food using UV lamps and cleaned water with melted ice from deep caves. Many died in the first few months, from disease, attack, or hopelessness. But others adapted. Rayan trained the survivors like soldiers. Every person had a job: protect, repair, scout, or build. One girl, Ari, only 12 years old, could hunt the deadly animals better than anyone. She moved like a ghost and used a weapon she built herself. People started calling her the Shadow. Humans were changing, not just in spirit, in body. The air, the food, the planet itself. It was changing their DNA. Some survivors grew stronger, faster. One boy could see in the dark. Another had skin resistant to fire. Lena ran tests. This planet, it's mutating us, not killing, evolving. Rayan looked at the data. They tried to bury us in hell, and now we're becoming demons. Chapter 5. The Signal in Secret. Rayan worked on an old alien drone they found crashed outside the camp. It took 2 years, but he rebuilt it. Lena helped him turn it into a message beacon. They sent a signal across space, short and simple. This is Rayan Malik, commander of the Banished. You exiled us. We survived, we evolved, and one day, we will return. The signal flew across galaxies. It took time, but it reached them. Chapter 6. The Verati react on the Verati homeworld. A transmission appeared on their main defense screen. An alien general watched the video. His 4 eyes narrowed. That's not possible, he said. A young Verati soldier shook his head. The planet Thanor 7 is uninhabitable. No intelligent life can live there. The general rewound the footage. He zoomed in on Rayan's face. I know that man, he said. He was one of Earth's war heroes. The alien leader turned to the council. We made a mistake. The council laughed. Humans are finished, one said. They are not a threat, said another. But the general wasn't smiling. If they survived Thanor 7, then they are no longer human. There's something else now. Chapter 7. The Revenant's Back. On Thanor 7, Rayan stood in front of a large group. They wore new armor, dark metal, mixed with alien parts. Their eyes glowed faintly. Their bodies were stronger, faster, sharper. They were called Revenants, the name chosen by the survivors. Lena handed Rayan a helmet. He placed it over his head and looked around. We are not the same people they banished. We are the future. Someone asked, What now, Commander? Rayan smiled coldly. Now, we build ships. Chapter 8. The return begins. The camera moved slowly across the blackness of space. Then something appeared, a small ship, shaped like a dagger, silent and fast. It slipped past alien scanners. Inside, a Revenant pilot stared at the glowing dashboard. A message appeared, target locked. The pilot smiled. Back on Thanor 7, Lena watched the screen. The infiltration was successful. Rayan looked out the window. They thought they buried us in death. He turned, but we were seeds. The sky burned orange every morning on Thanor 7, but no one saw the sun. The thick clouds blocked the light. The air was sharp and bitter. It burned lungs and dried skin. The ground was cracked like old bones. For the humans, Thanor 7 was not just a planet, it was a prison designed to kill. Chapter 1. Life. Under the surface, the people of Hollow 1 had learned to live underground. The tunnel stretched like a spider's web beneath the surface. Deep caves became their homes. The walls were cold and rough, but they were safe. Rayan walked through the tunnels, his boots echoing in the silence. He saw children playing with metal scraps. Soldiers cleaned their weapons. Engineers fixed broken machines. Lena was there, testing air filters. She looked tired but smiled. The filters work better, she said. We can breathe longer now. Rayan nodded. Good. We need every breath to live. Chapter 2. The monsters of Thaner 7 outside. The planet was alive, but dangerous. The creatures were strange and terrifying. Some moved like shadows, silent and fast. Others had thick armor and giant claws. One night, Ari, the girl known as the Shadow, spotted a large beast near the tunnels. She warned the guards. "It's hunting us," she said. Rayan ordered a team to track it. The beast was huge, 3 times the size of a man, with glowing red eyes. When it attacked, the ground shook. The soldiers fired their weapons, but the creature was too strong. It disappeared into the darkness, leaving behind burning footprints. Chapter 3. Building a new home. Surviving Thaner 7 meant more than fighting monsters. It meant creating life. The humans used alien technology scavenged from crashed ships. They built farms with strange glowing plants that grew under artificial light. Water was scarce. They melted ice from deep caves and filtered it through machines. Every drop was precious. Rayan stood in the middle of a farm, watching the green leaves sway. "We are not just surviving," he said. "We are living." Chapter 4. The changes within life on Thaner 7 changed the humans. Lena's tests showed something amazing. "Our bodies are evolving," she explained. "The planet's radiation changes our DNA. We're stronger, faster, smarter." Rayan looked at the volunteers who had new strength. One man lifted a heavy metal beam with ease. A woman could run faster than before. Even children showed signs of change. "We're becoming something new," Lena said quietly. Chapter 5. The new generation. 10 years passed. Ari was no longer a child but a leader. She trained the young to hunt and fight. One day, a group of children found a strange cave. Inside, they discovered old alien weapons. Rayan called the council. "We must prepare," he said. "Thaner 7 is changing us for a reason. We will need strength to face what is coming." The humans started building armor, mixing alien metal with their own designs. They called themselves the Revenants, the ones who returned from death. Chapter 6. The first contact. Then a strange event happened. A small ship entered the atmosphere of Thaner 7. It was a Virati scout looking for signs of life. Rayan sent a team to capture it. The scout was surprised. It had thought humans were extinct. The Revenants didn't kill it. Instead, they sent a warning back to the Virati homeworld. "This planet is not a grave," the message said. "It is a forge." Chapter 7. The message spreads across space. The Virati debated. Some believed the humans were gone. Others feared what the new message meant. Rayan's signal echoed in their minds. "We survived your death sentence. We grew stronger in your fire. We are coming back." The Virati began to prepare, but they didn't know the full power of what Thaner 7 had created. Chapter 8. Preparing for return. Back on Thaner 7, the humans worked faster. Ships were built in secret, hidden in caves. Weapons were forged from alien metal and human will. Rayan stood before his people. "We were meant to die," he said. "But Thaner 7 made us legends. The time will come when we take back what is ours." Ari raised her weapon for humanity. The surface of Thaner 7 cracked like dry skin under a burning sky. But under that deadly world, something new was being born. Not just cities, not just weapons, a new kind of human. Chapter 1. The fire within. Commander Rayan stood in the training chamber of Hollow 1. A group of young soldiers were practicing. Their bodies moved faster than normal. They lifted heavy metal like it was nothing. Ari watched with crossed arms. "They're getting stronger every week," she said. Rayan nodded. "And smarter. Their minds work faster too. Thaner 7 didn't just try to kill us, it taught us how to live." Lena walked in, holding a tablet with medical scans. "Commander," she said, "there's something you need to see." Chapter 2. Mutations. Lena showed Rayan images of blood cells, muscles, and brain activity. "This is one of our new children," she explained. "Born on Thaner 7, no sickness, no fear of radiation. His bones are 5 times stronger than Earth-born humans. His reaction time is almost inhuman. Rayan studied the data. Are we still human? Lena hesitated. Mostly. But Thanner 7 is rewriting us, evolving us, these people. They're becoming something new. Ari smiled. Maybe this is what we were meant to be. Chapter 3. The Revenant Corps. Rayan formed a special unit. The Revenant Corps. It was made of Thanner-born warriors, men and women who had only known this planet. They were stronger, faster, sharper. They trained in low light, high pressure, zero oxygen. They fought beasts with knives. They learned how to move without sound, how to see in the dark. One soldier, Kale, could hear vibrations through walls. Another, Sira, could hold her breath for 10 minutes and climb vertical rock with bare hands. Rayan watched them spar. These are not soldiers, he said. They're weapons. Chapter 4. The first mission. A strange signal appeared one day coming from deep within Thanner-7. It was not human, and not Verati either. Something old. Something buried. Rayan sent a small team from the Revenant Corps to investigate. Ari led them. They traveled through acid storms, fought off 2 beasts, and finally reached a metal structure half buried in the ground. Inside, they found a ruined alien base long abandoned. There were signs of war, burnt walls, broken machines, fossilized bones. One of the revenants found a glowing device. When they activated it, a voice spoke in a forgotten language. It was a warning. Thanner-7 is cursed. This place kills everything that touches it, except you. Chapter 5. Awakening the past. Back in Hollow 1, Lena worked to decode the device. After days of translation, she discovered something shocking. The Verati didn't find Thanner-7, she said. They feared it. This planet was once a prison, not for us, but for something older. Rayan frowned. What? Lena continued. A war happened here long ago, between powerful alien races. Thanner-7 was ground zero. They tried to destroy it, but the planet survived. And now it's turning us into weapons like it did before. Rayan whispered. They didn't send us to die. They sent us to a place they were too afraid to enter. Chapter 6. Infiltration. Meanwhile, far from Thanner-7, the Verati continued watching. Their High Council received another signal from one of their secret listening posts near human space. A single Revenant ship had appeared, and then disappeared. General Hakaraka stood over the data feed. Is this a threat? Asked one council member. The general replied, no, not a threat. A warning. He turned to his assistant. Send an assassin team. If they're alive, kill them before they return. Chapter 7. The assassin strike. The Verati sent a team of 6 elite assassins to Thanner-7. They arrived in stealth pods, unseen by most scanners, but the Revenant Corps felt them. Literally. Kale heard footsteps underground. Sira tasted strange air. Pressure. They're here, Ari said. And they think they're hunters. One by one, the assassins tried to attack. One tried to poison the water. Another aimed to explode the farms. But every time they failed, Revenants fought back with brutal efficiency. No mercy, no fear. Rayan faced the final assassin himself. A creature with 4 arms and poison claws. It lunged. Rayen ducked, slid beneath it, and crushed its chest with his bare hands. Then he whispered to the corpse, you should have finished the job 10 years ago. Chapter 8. Becoming legends. Word spread through the galaxy. Whispers, fear, stories of the humans that couldn't die, beasts that walked like men. Survivors of a death world who were becoming something more. Some called them monsters. Others called them the future. On Thanner-7, the Revenants continued to build ships, weapons, plans. Rayan gathered his people for a final speech. We are not Earth's children anymore, he said. We are Thanner's legacy. He pointed toward the stars. And now, the stars will know our name. 10 years ago, the galaxy banished humanity. Now, it would hear from them again. Chapter 1. The beacon deep under the mountains of Thanor 7. Lena stood before a strange alien machine. Wires sparkled. Blue lights pulsed. It was not human technology. It came from the ruined alien base Ari had found months earlier. But the Revenants had repaired it, improved it. This beacon can send messages across the galaxy. Lena explained to Rayan. Faster than light. Direct to the Verati homeworld. Rayan stepped forward. Then it's time we speak. He stood in front of the recorder. His face was calm. His eyes burned like fire. The message. This is Commander Rayan Malik of the Revenant Corps. Exiled us to a death planet. You thought we would die. But Thanor 7 made us stronger. You buried us in fire. We rose from it. We are not coming for revenge. We are coming to remind you what fear feels like. We are not your slaves, not your animals, not your mistakes. We are your future. The message was sent. It traveled across space through war zones, across colonies, into alien networks. It entered the Verati homeworld like a knife through silk. Chapter 2. Shock and fear in the tall glass towers of the Verati capital. The High Council gathered in silence. General Hashiraka played the message again. Every word struck like thunder. This can't be real, said one council member. They were supposed to die, said another. But they didn't, Shiraka said quietly. They survived and changed. The room was silent. Do we attack? Someone asked. Attack what? Hiraka replied. We don't know how strong they are. Or how many. They're humans, someone said. Achiraka shook his head. No, they were humans. Now, I don't know what they are. Chapter 3. Across the stars, the message spread faster than anyone expected. On distant mining colonies, alien workers stopped and listened. Traders whispered the words in secret rooms. Children played games where they pretended to be revenants. Some were afraid. Others were inspired. On one planet, a group of alien rebels replayed Rayan's words again and again. If humans can rise from death, one said, maybe we can too. Chapter 4. Betrayal inside, not all. Verati agreed with the council. Some believed the humans had the right to return. A scientist named Koresh, who once studied Earth, stood before the council and said, we made a mistake. We punished a species for being like us, for being strong, for being emotional, for being unpredictable. The council laughed. You sound like a human. Koresh looked down. Maybe I should have been. Later that night, Koresh stole classified files about the Revenants and disappeared. Chapter 5. Preparation on Thanor 7. Back on Thanor 7. The Revenants continued to build. Ships were no longer dreams. They were reality. Built from salvaged alien metal and powered by fusion cores from ancient ruins. The ships looked like daggers, sharp, fast, and deadly. Rayan stood inside the first completed vessel. Its name, Ghost of Earth. We're ready, Lena said. At least to scout, maybe strike. Ari stepped beside her. Let's remind them who we are. Chapter 6. The scouting mission. Rayan sent a small team, only 5 Revenants on. The first real mission outside Thanor 7. Their goal, infiltrate a Verati listening post on the edge of the galaxy. They traveled silently. Their ship was invisible to sensors. Their heat signatures erased. The Verati guards didn't see them coming. The Revenants slipped inside, hacked their systems, and planted a small device. Before leaving, one Revenant carved a message into the metal wall. We remember. Chapter 7. Galaxy on edge within days. The Verati discovered the breach. Panic spread like wildfire. They were inside one of our military stations. Hiraka shouted. Undetected. No alarms. How is this possible? A voice from the shadows answered. They're not coming like a wave. They're coming like a whisper. The Virati started evacuating outer colonies. They doubled the guards. They began calling allies, but fear was already in their hearts. Chapter 8. Rayan's warning. Rayan stood once again before the beacon. He recorded a second message. We do not seek war. We do not want your planets. We do not want your pity. We want you to understand. Humanity was made in pain, and pain made us stronger. You feared us when we were weak. Now fear what we've become. He paused. You have one chance. Leave our colonies, or we will take them back, piece by piece. Final scene, the choice back. On the Virati homeworld, General Hafureka stood before the full war council. He said only one sentence. We must strike first. But in the dark, someone else whispered, maybe. It's already too late. Thanner 7 had trained them in silence. It had taught them patience. Now, the galaxy would hear them, not through words, but through fire. Chapter 1. The plan inside the war room of Hollow One. Revenant leaders stood around a glowing map of the galaxy. Rayan pointed at a red dot near the edge of Virati-controlled space. This is Sector G3, a Virati energy hub. It powers 3 colonies, no civilians, all military. Lena nodded. It's well protected, but not unbreakable. Ari, standing in her black armor, asked, are we destroying it? Rayan shook his head. No, we disable it. We send a message. He looked each one in the eye. No deaths, only fear. Chapter 2. The Ghosts in the Wind. Revenants launched in silence. 3 small ships left Thanner 7 in the dark of night. They were shaped like knives, fast, thin, and nearly invisible to sensors. On board were 15 revenants. Veterans of Thanner, survivors of beasts and storms. Not just soldiers anymore. Predators. As they flew through space, no one spoke. Each of them knew what this mission meant. The war wouldn't start with an explosion. It would start with silence. Chapter 3. Inside the energy hub. The Virati energy hub floated above a gas planet. It was a massive station, 6 towers connected by long bridges. Plasma energy flowed through the center, glowing blue dot. It was guarded by drones and patrol ships. But none saw the Revenant vessels approach. The Revenants latched onto the underbelly of the station and cut through the metal dot inside. They moved like shadows. Kale used his senses to avoid patrols. Syrah crawled through vents, marking guard patterns. Ari reached the core room first. There, she whispered. A single shot from her pulse gun disabled the power node. The lights dimmed. Doors froze. The entire hub stopped. Chapter 4. The message. While the others moved to disable weapons and alarms, Rayan reached the main control room. He connected a small black device to the hub's system. Lena's voice came through the comm. Ready when you are. Rayan pressed the final button. Across the entire station, every screen turned black. Then showed one sentence. You threw us into fire. We learned to burn brighter. Then, a symbol appeared. A human skull made of stars, with fire in its eyes. Revenant marked. Chapter 5. The exit. The Revenants moved out fast. Virati drones began waking up. Doors rebooted. Alarms buzzed, but the humans were already gone. Their ships detached from the hull and vanished into space before a single shot was fired. Inside the control room, a Virati technician stared at the screen in horror. What was that? He asked. A commander walked in, silent. He looked at the message again, then whispered. It was a warning. Chapter 6. The galaxy reacts. News of the attack spread fast. No guards had been killed. No weapons fired. Yet a military station had been shut down by ghosts. Alien governments began asking questions. How strong are these Revenants? If they can do this without firing a bullet, what can they do in full war? Fear spread faster than any missile. Some Virati officials called for surrender. Others called for full extermination. The Council of Stars was divided, but deep down, They all felt one thing: Kalan shame. They had called humans weak. Now those same humans had walked through their defenses like they didn't exist. Chapter 7. Within the council. Inside the Varadi High Council chamber, General Siraka stood tall. Their power is not in weapons, he said. It is in belief. They believe they were chosen to survive. They believe they are unstoppable. One council member asked, "Are they?" Hiraka didn't answer. Instead, he opened a HOLO- screen. It showed the Revenant symbol, still glowing on the hub. He pointed. This is the start. Chapter 8. Back on Thanor 7, in Hollow 1, the Revenants returned as heroes. No celebration. No cheers. Only quiet nods. Ari cleaned her weapon. Rayan stood above the command platform, watching new ships being built. He turned to Lena. "What's next?" she asked. Rayan smiled darkly. "Now we take back what they stole. One world at a time." They were meant to die. Now their name was spoken in whispers across the stars. Revenants. Not ghosts. Not soldiers. A storm coming. Chapter 1. The panic begins across the galaxy. Alien colonies woke to dark skies. Not because of clouds. Not because of warships, but because of fear. On the trade planet Naller, merchants closed their stalls early. A message had arrived: the humans are back. In schools, alien teachers spoke quietly to each other. They say the Revenants can't be killed. They shut down a Varadi military base without a single casualty. No one saw them coming. In every bar, shipyard, and war room, the name spread: Revenants. Chapter 2. Inside the Varadi High Council, General Siraka stood before the Varadi Council. He showed recordings from the G3 Energy Hub. Security footage showed nothing. No entry, no exit, no attackers. Only flickering lights and the Revenant symbol burned into steel. "They left us alive," Haraka said. "They wanted us to tell the story." A council member growled. "Then let's kill them." "With what?" Haraka snapped. "They have no cities, no known bases. They move like ghosts." Another alien leader asked, "Can we negotiate?" "They don't want peace," someone replied. "They want respect." Chapter 3. Sparks of rebellion on the mining planet Gorsa. Slaves worked under Varadi rule. When word of the Revenants reached them, something changed. A group of alien workers threw down their tools. They refused to kneel anymore. "If the humans can fight back," one said, "so can we." Soon, other colonies followed. Flags were torn down. Symbols of the Varadi Empire were burned. The Revenants hadn't just started a war. They had started a movement. Chapter 4. Voices of doubt. Not all Revenants were certain. Inside Hollow 1, Lena sat with Rayan in the war room. "Our message is spreading," she said. "But it's making enemies too." Rayan leaned forward. "Fear is part of war. We inspired rebellion," she said. "But we also triggered chaos." Rayan stood slowly. "They feared us when we were human. Now they fear what we've become." He turned to the screen. "And we haven't even started yet." Chapter 5. A new arrival. One day, a strange ship entered Thanor 7's orbit. It didn't attack. It didn't hide. It simply hovered and waited. Rayan ordered caution. Revenants surrounded the ship. When it landed, a single alien stepped out, unarmed. He spoke in perfect English. "My name is Koresh. I used to work for the Varadi." Ari aimed her weapon. "Used to?" Koresh raised his hands. "I came to warn you, and to help." Lena scanned him. "He's not lying." Rayan nodded slowly. Then, "Speak." Chapter 6. The secret they buried. Koresh sat inside the chamber, eyes tired. "You weren't sent to Thanor because you were violent," he said. "You were sent there because the Varadi feared your potential." Rayan didn't speak. Koresh continued. "They knew what Thanor 7 really was. A planet that changes life. It makes species evolve faster, stronger, deadlier. He looked up. They hoped Thanner would kill you, or twist you into monsters. But it made you something else. Rayan leaned forward. They feared our past. Now they'll fear our future. Chapter 7. The Shadow Network back in Hollow 1. The Revenants expanded. Not just in numbers, in reach. Lena created a hidden communication web across the galaxy. Old satellites were reactivated. Drones were launched. Codes were sent, and slowly, old Earth colonies began responding. Some humans had survived on other planets, ruled, enslaved, or hiding. When they heard the Revenant's signal, hope returned. One message came through clearly. We waited. We watched. We're ready to rise. Chapter 8. A decision in darkness in the Verati capital. The council gathered once more. We must crush them now, a leader shouted. But others were silent. They've infected our colonies with hope, one whispered. Even our own people are questioning us. General Siraka stood tall. If we wait, they grow stronger. If we strike, we reveal our fear. He turned to the council. We must prepare for full war. A voice answered from the shadows. You've already lost the galaxy's heart. Final scene. Fire on the horizon on Thanner 7. Rayan stood on a mountain ledge. Ships lined the valley, revenant craft, fast and silent. Warriors trained below. Engineers worked night and day. Koresh stood beside him. What will you do now? The alien asked. Rayan looked toward the stars. We light the flame, he said, and watch who joins us. Ari stepped forward. Then let's make the first burn. Rayan nodded. Prepare the fleet. The fire is coming. The storm had waited long enough. The galaxy had heard whispers, seen messages, and felt the shadows. Now, the Revenants were done whispering. Now, they would roar. Chapter 1. The fleet launches on Thanner 7. The valley shook. Engines roared. Metal wings spread wide. The Revenant fleet, black ships built from pain and fire, lifted from the ground like ghosts rising from a grave. Over 60 ships launched, small fast fighters, large destroyers, carriers filled with warriors. Commander Rayan stood at the front of the lead cruiser, Ghost of Earth. Beside him stood Ari, Lena, and Koresh. This is not a war for revenge, Rayan said to his crew. This is a war to remind the galaxy who we are. He looked toward the stars. Let them feel the fire. Chapter 2. The first target. The Revenants. First target was not a major city. It was a hidden weapons factory on the frozen moon of Velkar 9, where the Verati built plasma cannons and drones. Rayan's plan was simple. Strike hard. Strike fast. Leave a message. Ari led the assault team. The Revenant ships came from behind the moon, using its magnetic storms to hide. In seconds, the station was surrounded. No warning. No negotiation. Within 3 minutes, the defenses were down. Guards ran. Lights failed. Drones were cut down mid-air. Ari carved the Revenant symbol into the main reactor wall. This is not destruction. This is proof we're back. The team left before the Verati even knew what hit them. Chapter 3. Verati. Response back on the Verati homeworld. Alarms rang across the military complex. They've begun full-scale war. One commander shouted, "We must strike their home." Yelled another. General Haka remained calm. No, that's what they want. If we attack Thanner 7, we fall into their trap. The High Council met in secret. Some wanted to send fleets, others wanted peace. But fear ruled them now. They move too fast, Arfaraka said. Our ships can't track them. Our scanners can't find them. One leader whispered, "What do we do?" Haziraka closed his eyes. We survive. Chapter 4. The front expands in just 3 weeks. The Revenant struck 6 more targets. Fuel depots, sensor outposts, command towers. Each time, they avoided civilian harm. Each time, they left behind symbols, messages. And every time, hope spread. Alien. Rebels on broken worlds began to rise. They saw the revenants not as monsters, but as liberators. Koresh watched the footage in Hollow 1. "You've started something bigger than war," he said. "You've started a belief." Rayan replied, "That's more dangerous than any weapon." Chapter 5. The first battle lost, but war is never perfect. On the swamp world Cessor 4, a revenant strike team was ambushed. The Verati had set a trap. False distress signals. Fake data trails. 10 revenants entered. Only 2 made it out. Rayan watched the report in silence. His fists were tight. "We underestimated them," Ari said. Rayan nodded. "They're adapting," Lena added, "and fast." Koresh looked worried. "That was just one world. If they set traps on others." Rayan finished. "Then the real war has begun." Chapter 6. A city awakens meanwhile. On Nova Elysia, a Verati-controlled colony with millions, something new happened. The city's power failed. Lights died. Streets went black. But it wasn't a revenant attack. It was the people, the humans, who lived under Verati rule, had seen enough. They had heard the revenant messages. They rose in rebellion. They took control of government towers. They burned Verati flags. When the revenant fleet arrived hours later, the city was already free. A young human girl met Rayan at the city square. "We did this for you," she said. Rayan looked around, proud but cautious. "No," he said. "You did this for yourselves." Chapter 7. Verati retaliation. The Verati finally struck back. Their most powerful warship, Crimson Vow, attacked a revenant supply route. The battle was brutal. Explosions filled space. Metal screamed. Lives were lost, but the revenants fought back with precision. They moved in silence. Disabled engines. Cut power. Boarded with fury. Ari led the final assault on the bridge. When the Verati captain tried to surrender, she stared at him and said, "We were children when you exiled us. We are not children anymore." The revenants didn't kill him. They left him alive to carry the story home. Chapter 8. Across the stars now. The galaxy burned. Not from flames, but from change. On slave worlds, people rose. On quiet planets, whispers became chants. In prisons, humans escaped. In old Earth colonies, the revenant flag flew once more. The Verati council began to split. Some leaders called for peace. Others still wanted blood. General Hazaraka stared at the star maps in silence. "They've broken the galaxy's balance," he said, "and they're not done." A shadow passed over the map. And someone whispered, "This is not just a war. This is a rebirth." They were cast out. They were forgotten. Now they stood on the edge of everything they had lost, and they were ready to take it back. Chapter 1. The homeworld Earth. Blue oceans. White clouds. Brown scars from old wars. Once the heart of humanity. Now, silent, occupied, watched by Verati drones. Kept like a trophy behind plasma shields. Rayan stared at the hologram of Earth from inside the ghost of Earth. His warship. "We left as prisoners," he said. Ari stood beside him. "We return as legends," Lena whispered. "It's time." Rayan turned to the fleet behind them. Over 100 revenant ships. Human ships from rebel colonies. Even a few alien allies. He raised his voice. "This is not revenge. This is not hate. This is return." Chapter 2. The battle begins. The revenant fleet arrived near Earth without warning. They came from behind the moon. Shields activated, weapons ready. The Verati were shocked. Their outer defenses tried to react. Too slow. First, the revenants took out the orbital defense ring with silent missiles. Then, the plasma shield protecting Earth cracked. Rayan gave the order. "Go." Fighters flew down through the atmosphere like fire falling from the sky. Ari led ground forces. Koresh, now fully loyal, used Verati codes to confuse the defense AI. The world shook as Earth awakened. Chapter 3. The people rise on the ground. Earth's cities were still full of human life. Decades of Virati control had turned many into workers, slaves or exiles in their own home. But when the revenants arrived, something changed. People ran into the streets, not in fear, but in hope. They tore down alien banners. They opened gates. They welcomed their lost warriors. An old man cried, "We thought you were dead." A revenant soldier replied, "We were. Now we're back." Chapter 4. The Heart of the Fight in New Geneva. The Virati command tower stood tall. Rayan and a strike team moved in fast. Virati soldiers blocked the entrance. But they weren't ready for revenants with Thanner-born strength. Sira climbed the tower in minutes. Kale ripped doors open with his bare hands. Rayan reached the top floor and faced the Virati governor. "You don't understand," the alien said. "This world belongs to us now." Rayan answered, "No, it belongs to those who bled for it." With one shot, the tower's control systems were disabled. Earth was free. Chapter 5. The signal. Once the Virati were removed, Lena activated the old Earth beacon, a signal the galaxy hadn't heard in over 20 years. It pulsed bright and loud. Earth is free. Humanity has returned. We stand not as survivors, but as the future. The message spread faster than war. Across the stars, humans in exile stood taller. Allies of the Virati questioned their loyalty, and in dark corners of the galaxy, alien empires trembled. Chapter 6. The Last Stand. But the Virati weren't finished. They launched their largest fleet, over 300 ships, to take Earth back. Rayan saw the warning come in. "They're desperate," Koresh said. "They want to crush our hope." Lena added. Rayan nodded. "Then we fight with everything." The final battle began in Earth's orbit. Revenants fought side by side with humans from old colonies. Even some Virati defectors joined. The sky burned. Ships exploded. Bodies fell. But the Revenants did not break. Ari boarded the enemy flagship. Alone. She took the bridge, sent a single message. "Earth is ours. You're not welcome here." Chapter 7. A New Dawn. The battle ended after 6 hours. The Virati fleet was broken. Some escaped. Most surrendered. Rayan stood in the ruins of the Virati flagship. He looked up at Earth's sky. For the first time in decades, the stars looked peaceful. Lena stood beside him. "It's over." Rayan shook his head. "No, it's just beginning." Ari walked up smiling. "What now?" Rayan looked at the horizon. "Now we rebuild, not as outcasts, not as enemies, but as a people who survived fire and came back stronger." Chapter 8. The legend lives on in the years that followed. Earth became the heart of the new human alliance. Revenants trained the next generation. Thanner 7 was honored, not feared. The Virati signed a peace agreement. Their empire never the same again. Children were told the story. Long ago, the galaxy tried to erase us. They banished us to a death world. But we did not die. We changed. We became stronger. We became revenants. And Earth rose again.